A wild chase in Stockton ends in gunfire. The search for a suspect with a history of running from officers.
A holiday warning from the Girl Scouts, why it's sparking a debate about hugging.
And good morning, I'm Leticia Ordaz live at Sac International Airport, where lines have been long since 4 this morning. The one thing officials say you need to do to make sure your flight goes smoothly, and what they're doing today to add some relaxation to travelers.
KCRA 3 News at 6 starts right now.
And we're starting this morning with a live look from a very foggy Sacramento. You can see the lights there from the Golden One. If you look pretty closely, you can kind of piece it together to figure out what it is. But not much else. Downtown Sacramento and many other places this morning dealing with a lot of fog across the valley. Good morning. I'm Deirdre Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Teo Torres. Let's head over to meteorologist Tamara Berg. She's been tracking this fog and give us kind of an idea when it could break up.
Yeah, you pretty much name the city and I'll probably tell you there's fog there. There's not a whole lot of locations escaping the fog this morning. And as you're heading out on this Wednesday, be prepared that you may want to add a little extra time to your travels because this fog is very dense in a couple of locations. Live look right now in Fairfield, where it's even hard to tell where the sky cam is. Thankfully, we've got directors that tell me in my ear where it is, because this is Fairfield, and across Solano County at Waterman Boulevard, you're going to notice that it is covered in those low clouds. Hard to see there. You can see the visibility here on the map, and this is really showing you the picture. Central Valley extending out to the Delta, and parts of the Sierra also waking up in the low clouds and that fog bank. The visibility is down to a quarter mile currently in Marysville and in through Lincoln. The fog is thick, and then the thickest fog is actually around Sac International Airport. This is a popular day for travel. You saw Leticia on the airport, and that is where the fog is really thick around Natomas and out towards Woodland. We have a quarter mile visibility reported into Land Park and around Sac Executive Airport, and a quarter mile visibility stretching out through Stockton and Modesto. It's also often running to a cooler start with mid to upper 40s outside. I do think the fog should clear out as we push forward into the 11 o'clock hour, and we'll show you what's ahead for the rest of the day and into Thanksgiving coming up. It is 6:02. Let's get a check now on your Wednesday commute. And Tish, we know it's all about that fog this morning.
Yes, just like you, Tamara. If you can name me a street, I can probably tell you that there is fog there. I can show you some too with Caltrans cameras. This is San Joaquin County I-5 through the Stockton area, and also 99 at the Crosstown Freeway there. So stepping out in San Joaquin County, you will see that fog as you head out the door, maybe getting a jump start on your holiday travel. In Sacramento County, we have a dense fog advisory in effect from Caltrans, and they are saying it is the thickest in the Natomas area along portions of I-5, 99, 70, even Interstate 80 here at Truxell that you can see. And you'll notice that the sign trucks have been activated. If you are going to be heading up into the airport this morning, perhaps to catch a flight, you'll notice that fog there, especially along portions of I-5 at airport. You can see that from the snapshot. So just reduce your speeds. Plan for that as you head out the door. Teo, Deirdre.
All right, thank you so much.
It is 6:03. An escaped inmate is back in jail, and Stockton police are searching for a second inmate this morning.
Now, the pair led officers on a chase and a shooting last night. Brian Hickey's live at the San Joaquin County Jail with what happened. Brian?
Yeah, this all started up in the north end of Stockton with a CHP officer trying to pull over a vehicle and find out that 2 fugitives from Santa Clara County were inside that vehicle. One of them now in custody here at the San Joaquin County Jail. Here's a picture of the 2 men involved in this. They are fugitives who escaped from a Santa Clara County courthouse on November 6th. One of them, Tremel McClough, is now in custody here at the San Joaquin County Jail. The other, John Bivens, is still at large after an officer-involved shooting in the north end of Stockton. This was the end of that short vehicle pursuit when a CHP officer spotted the duo on I-5 near 8 Mile Road and tried to stop them, and that's when they took off around 5:15 last night. The driver, McClough, led the officer down Trinity Parkway and then jumped out and fled to a nearby Walmart where he was arrested. Bivens managed to slide into the driver's seat of the SUV and take off as a CHP officer opened fire on him. Investigators say the 2 men escaped from a courthouse in Palo Alto on November 6th as they were being escorted down a hallway. They got into a waiting car and eventually into a U-Haul. 2 people were arrested for helping them escape in that incident. So now McClough is behind bars. Bivens is still on the run. He was last seen driving a green 1999 Ford Explorer with a license plate of 7TTY 505. And the CHP and the Sheriff's Department saying that if you spot that vehicle or Bivens, you're urged to call 911 immediately, as he is considered dangerous. Live here in French Camp at the San Joaquin County Jail, Brian Hickey, KCRA 3 News.
Well, Roseville police are looking now for a man who robbed a bank. Surveillance video shows you the suspect in a tan hat and sunglasses. Police say that he hit the first bank on Douglas Boulevard at around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The man told the teller that he had a weapon, but never pulled one out. If you see that man, you should call police.
New this morning, the U.S. Navy says an aircraft carrying 11 crew members and passengers has crashed into the Pacific Ocean. The Navy says the C-2 aircraft crashed south of Okinawa during a joint U.S.-Japan naval exercise. The plane was on its way to the USS Ronald Reagan at the time in the Philippine Sea. U.S. Navy says 8 of the 11 on board have been found. They're alive and they are in good condition. The cause of the crash is still not clear.
Congress may be on Thanksgiving break, but sexual harassment allegations are continuing to rock Capitol Hill. President Trump is now addressing the claims against the Alabama Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore. KCRA 3's Liz Palka is joining us now in Washington with details.
Deirdre, even though he's facing multiple sexual misconduct allegations, President Trump says Alabama's Roy Moore would be better than the liberal alternative as allegations surface on another lawmaker. Congressman John Conyers is on the defense after BuzzFeed reported the Michigan Democrats settled with a former staffer for $27,000. The report said the woman was fired for rejecting his sexual advances. Conyers denied allegations in a statement saying he settled to save all involved from a long court case. President Trump also broke his silence on Republican Senate candidate Roy Moore on Tuesday.
He gives a total denial. And I do have to say, 40 years is a long time. He's run 8 races, and this has never come up. So 40 years is a long time.
While the president didn't endorse Moore, he did speak against Democrat Doug Jones, who is also running in the December special election. In Washington, I'm Liz Palka, KCRA 3 News.
Liz, thanks. It's 6:07 now. CBS News, Bloomberg, and PBS all are cutting ties with the veteran journalist Charlie Rose. That after more than a dozen women have now accused him of sexual misconduct. The women claim that he groped them and walked around naked in front of them. In a statement, Rose is apologizing, but saying that he doesn't believe all of the allegations are accurate. He says that he always felt he was pursuing shared feelings. CBS co-host Gayle King is addressing the accusations against Charlie Rose. She was on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert last night. King said that she did consider canceling that appearance. It had been scheduled for weeks, but she decided in the end that it was important to have a public conversation about her former co-host and the growing awareness of sexual harassment.
I'm a variety of emotions. You know, there's certainly some anger, there's some sadness, there's compassion, there's concern. Charlie and I, we've worked together, been friends, but when you think about the anguish of those women, despite the friendship, you still have to report the news.
So like I was saying, King was originally booked weeks ago to talk about Oprah's favorite holiday things of all things, but the conversation obviously changed following Charlie Rose's firing just hours before she was on the show last night.
While stories about sexual harassment surge, the Girl Scouts of America is issuing a stern warning to parents of young girls.
Tony Valier is joining us now with the message the organization has during the holidays.
Well, the Girl Scouts have a history of taking on polarizing subjects regarding girls and young women, and their latest recommendation is getting a lot of reaction from parents. The organization says parents should not force their daughters to hug anyone this holiday season, not even relatives. In a new online post, the Girl Scouts write she doesn't owe anyone a hug, not even at the holidays. Now it says while hugs are non-sexual, they can influence the way girls set boundaries in the future. The idea is to let them decide how and when they want to show affection. The Girl Scout says the post is also serving as a lesson in consent.
It's important for kids to feel empowered and brave enough to share how they want to share.
Even in like college and after that, working situations, like I've been forced to hug people I'd rather not touch me.
Some parents on social media accuse the organization of blowing an innocent family interaction out of proportion. Others say it's long been a very controversial topic in parenting circles. The Girl Scouts suggested some alternatives to hugging. They say a handshake, a high five, or a thumbs up all share the same message without putting pressure on girls to touch someone. Teo.
All right, thank you, Tony. Well, this morning, be thankful you're not in Southern California. my, this, wow.
It's very holiday-like, though, with the red and white.
It is. That's one way to look at it. Look at you. Lemons, lemonade. You're doing, checking out here gridlock, total gridlock in LA as people leave town for Thanksgiving, if you call this leaving.
Yeah.
This is what I-405, or as they say, the 405, looked like last night. Headlights, taillights, 4 miles.
At least it was kind of moving, though, so there's that.
Wow, you're a lemonade maker today, aren't you?
Makes working on the holiday that much better. There you go. AAA is projecting nearly 51 million Americans will go at least 50 miles or more away from home for the Thanksgiving holiday, and that does make it the busiest travel week since 2005.
Looks like 50 million of them are in LA right now. Hey, Leticia Ordaz has a few, though, behind her, quite a few. It's been pretty busy out there this morning, hasn't it?
It's been really busy. The rush right now seems to be going quite quickly through the line here. This is the TSA check-in, and half an hour ago the line was really backed up. Not the case right now, and a lot of travelers are smiling. That's because this little guy is here. We have Diesel in the house here at Terminal A, and we also have a Brody here, and they're making the rounds, and they say pet me. So they like the love that people are giving them here this morning. So airport officials are asking people to please arrive at least 2 hours ahead of your flight, even if you don't have an international flight. So TSA screenings do cause a lot of stress for people, but folks out here say they really appreciate the fact that these dogs are here.
I think that anything to help people to stay calm and happy is a good thing. Yeah, I think everybody's in a great mood. Everybody wants to go home, eat their turkey. I'm one of those people, and we're going to see our family. We're looking forward to this trip.
Okay, look at Brody putting on a show for everyone. Again, these dogs are really working miracles today. Not only are the dogs here, but they're going to have live music throughout the day. That gets started at 11 this morning. Another good thing is that I checked the boards and everything is running on time so far. So if you have a morning flight, things are looking good here at SAC International Airport. Reporting live here at the airport, I'm Leticia Ordaz, KCRA 3 News.
Those dogs at the end of the day are going to be like, I need my space.
Yeah.
No one touch me.
Don't touch. I'm done. Yeah.
It is 6:12 now. Next, it's a four-legged chase.
Yeah, where police are chasing after more than just people.
What are you guys doing?
Look at that. And a 1970s heartthrob remembered what we're learning about David Cassidy's death this morning.
And all about that fog. We'll talk about how the visibility is impacted due to all the thick fog across the area and when this fog may clear out of here. Coming up in your forecast.
Well, the Sacramento City Council has approved some funding to enforce new marijuana laws starting on January 1st. $850,000 will be used in the first 6 months to crack down on illegal marijuana grows in neighborhoods. That money would then cover 3 sergeants, 12 officers, and a city employee responsible for getting rid of the seized marijuana and cultivation equipment. There are some big concerns over illegal pot grows in Sacramento. And in just 2 months, police broke up more than 600 illegal grows. And the City Council also approved money to fix the bathrooms at McKinley Park. After syringes and other items were clogging the drains, the city has decided to spend $50,000 on something called a restroom grinder pump. It will grind up solids so that they can go into the sewer line. The hope is that the pump will keep those restrooms working.
Well, check out this great video out of Tahoe City where 3 bears were doing a little window shopping. And then the police came around, kind of ruined their plans. Look at them scamper. They are literally scampering. Placer County Sheriff's Office shared this clip saying they love how the bears kind of gathered up, took off together when they realized they'd been spotted. Listen to the officer here.
What are you guys doing?
They look guilty.
Not funny.
They're like, uh-oh.
Love
Buzz
that.
is here. KCRA weather now, and if you're going to be leaving the house anytime soon, get ready for this. Lots of fog. That's a live look in Sacramento, very thick in many areas right now. Is that? I guess it's the golden one. Kind of tough to see.
It can be whatever you want.
It can at this point.
It
How would you know if I was right? You really wouldn't.
Foggy out there, Tamara.
Yeah, and if you don't have the Christmas lights up in your yard yet, you're fine. You can't see them anyways,
Did our
right?
camera go out, or is that actually a picture?
That's actually a picture. I think that if you look closely, is that the Capitol Dome in the backdrop?
It can be whatever you want.
I need some help here. But
Yet again.
it is very foggy out there. This is the Fruit Building Skycam. This actually looks along J Street and actually down towards the Golden One. Yeah, you can't see it this morning. morning. It's covered in the low clouds, so the low clouds are out, and it is cooler this morning when you step out the door. 48 currently in the capital city, but down to 45 in Stockton. Stepping outside in that fog bank, Modesto to 49 degrees. Lake Tahoe at 33 degrees. We're even Lake Tahoe, as we overlook the parking lot there atop the resort of Harvey's, you're going to notice it's foggy in the Sierra, and because that temperature is flirting with the freezing mark, you may have some freezing fog to get through in the mountains, and that may cause some slick, icy conditions up in the Sierra. Dense fog advisory has been issued by the Weather Service. They do this whenever we see there'll be a period of time where visibility goes below a quarter mile in many locations due to this dense fog. So we are in this dense fog advisory through 11 o'clock this morning. Make sure you slow your speed, give yourself that assured distance between you and other cars on the roads because it is very foggy, and we are expecting that the conditions will improve later on this morning and into the early afternoon. Visibility right now, the stretch in the valley down to quarter mile or less from Marysville into Modesto. Half mile visibility reported right now in Fairfield, and then the fog, you're like waking up with us in the foothills saying, there's no fog here. It's because you're not seeing any, but you get up to the Sierra and visibility down to half mile, Truckee, and Lake Tahoe. So the forecast is foggy, and some of you may be wondering, well, how does fog form and how does it clear? Well, we've got Professor Verdorn in-house to explain to us the fog generation fog forecast. Dirk?
Yeah, let's take a look at a simple explanation of what we have going on right now forming the fog. So we'll go to our graphic, and the skies cleared out yesterday evening as the sun goes down. And you don't have to have completely clear skies, but it helps if the skies are clear. And of course, with the clear skies, that allows all the heat that's been building up in the earth to escape. And so all those temperatures, you got rapid cooling that can take place. And so you need those temperatures to drop. You also need light winds, because what happens when you have wind, it actually helps to mix up the air, and it prevents the fog from forming or settling. And that's when you need the air to just kind of settle into low spots. Typically we see, again, low-lying areas. That's where you have water, of course. That's where you have higher humidity, and so that's going to bring up the dew point. The dew point is the temperature that the air needs to reach for condensation to occur. And of course, condensation, when that takes place, then we get the fog. And so again, clear skies, light winds, higher humidities are all the ingredients that you need for the formation of fog. And guess what we have this morning? We have all the ingredients for that fog to form, and that's why we're seeing the fog we're seeing this morning. Tamara, back over to you.
Yeah, and we need the sunshine to arrive to help to mix out or burn off the fog, as a lot of folks like to say. So our forecast going forward, we've got weather in motion, moisture plume moving up to the north. It does look like we are going to see a dry forecast for Run to Feed the Hungry. Temperatures will be in the low 50s at the start of the race, whether it's the 5K or the 10K, and I think that patchy fog will again be an issue, but I don't expect it's going to be as widespread or as dense as what we're witnessing this morning. So we get through the fog to a clear afternoon. Temperatures jump to the 70s today. We get into the upper 60s tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Friday, if you're heading out and you have shopping plans, or maybe you're just going to stay in and maybe work out and work off that meal that you had for Thanksgiving.
That'd be a good idea too.
That's a great idea. It's going to be nice and comfortable to get outdoors, and I think the weekend is going to hold dry as well.
All right, looking good. Thank you.
Let's check out the commute in Stanislaus County this time around. More fog?
Yes, so I've been telling you guys all morning, pretty much every camera that I look at from our Caltrans internet site has fog on it. And so we're going to start in Stanislaus County. This is in Modesto along portions of 99, and then also in Ceres. So heading out, if you're getting a jump start on your commute to get to your holiday destination, you are going to see that fog. Give yourself some extra time this morning as you head out, as Tamara mentioned. Also in San Joaquin County, we have fog along I-5 and 99 and even the crosstown freeway as you travel through Stockton this morning. In Sacramento, we have a dense fog advisory in effect from Caltrans, with the most dense fog seen in the Natomas area along portions of 80, 99, 70, and even I-5 heading towards the airport. So if you are going to be heading towards the airport to catch a flight, you will see that fog heading out the door. So plan for that. Factor that into your drive as you head out over there. Deirdre?
Tish, thanks. Singer, actor, and 70s teen heartthrob David Cassidy has passed away. Cassidy's publicist says that he died at a Florida hospital surrounded by family. He had suffered organ failure. David Cassidy shot to fame in 1970 with the TV series The Partridge Family. He played the lead vocalist in a family rock band. In later years, he had some success in Vegas, but had battled alcoholism. Earlier this year, he announced that he was suffering from dementia. David Cassidy was just 67 years old.
It is 6:21. Still ahead, a Thanksgiving surprise.
The Sacramento celebrity teaming up with police to bring some joy to some unexpected families. Well, when a bunch of patrol cars rolled up to a location in North Sacramento, some of the neighbors might have been a little worried that there was trouble.
Maybe. The officers were actually there to deliver holiday meals. Nothing to worry about. They brought a celebrity with them as well. Tony's here with a look at the program that surprised so many people.
Yeah, it was all good. The Sacramento Police Department, here I am, teamed up with the Sacramento Kings to bring turkeys, pies, and other food right into the neighborhoods where it's needed. This was one of their stops last night. Take a look here. They're working with a program called Brother to Brother, which helps kids stay out of trouble and helps those who've been in trouble turn things around. Sacramento Kings guard Garrett Temple was among the players there to greet some of the families, so the kids were especially thrilled to see him. And the leaders of the programs talked about what it's like to get this kind of support from professional athletes and police officers.
It's an overwhelming feeling to see such a big conglomerate of people coming in, and the community probably think it's something bad, but it's actually something good, and that's what we all about here.
So from here, this crew headed out to 10 homes. They went right up to their doors, surprising families, as you can imagine, with the holiday meals. And you may remember former Kings star Bobby Jackson. Well, he's the one who started this program 15 years ago. So it's really nice to see that his former team is continuing to support it. Also, Sprouts and Rayleigh's stores donated supplies to make this possible for all those families.
Nice legacy for Bobby Jackson.
Yeah,
See
that's great.
the young guys doing it now.
Yeah.
It is 6:26 right now. Elk Grove police cutting down on holiday crime.
And good morning, Deirdre. I'd like to start with a question. How quickly can you go from holiday shopper to victim? It can happen like that. I'll show you the surveillance video coming up.
And waking up after a massacre, a father and son nearly killed in Tehama County. They share their story. It's a miraculous story. What they saw moments before that gunman started shooting.
And back outside, just a really foggy day, almost no matter where you are this morning. Dense in some areas more than others, I guess. But overall, leave yourself a little extra time as you head out the door.
KCRA 3 News at 6 continues.
Yeah.
Who's there?
Look at that. Santa has arrived. He's getting ready for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
It's kind of a big day tomorrow.
Got an appearance. He's kind of like the anchor of that whole parade towards the end there. It's well worth the wait. Watching Wall Street, looking for the opening bell there. There you go. He's very exciting.
Very excited.
Has he got the opening bell in his hand today?
He has bells. He has just his regular bells. That's how he calls the reindeer to come get him.
Yes, it is. Anyway, this is obviously the opening bell being rung by the folks who put together the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Gotta love it. So full day for Wall Street today, and then a half day on Friday, closed tomorrow. More with Kelly coming up in just a couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and get a look at our top stories right now. An escaped inmate from Santa Clara County is right now in the San Joaquin County Jail after he and a second inmate took Stockton police officers on a chase that resulted in a shooting last night. Brian Hickey will join us in 2 minutes live with more on the search for the second inmate.
A U.S. Navy aircraft carrying 11 crew members and passengers crashed southeast of Okinawa in the Pacific. It was a joint U.S.-Japan naval exercise. That plane was on its way to the USS Ronald Reagan. 8 people have been found alive. The cause is under investigation. And the actor David Cassidy of the Partridge Family has died at the age of 67. Cassidy's publicist says that he was in a Florida hospital suffering from organ failure. The 70s heartthrob recently had announced that he had been diagnosed with dementia. Now to a live look from Sacramento. We are talking fog today, most of the day. It is thick in many areas this morning. Let's not say most of the day. I have a feeling it's going to burn off here at some point shortly. It would be nice because it is very thick as we take a live look here at Exposition Boulevard in Sacramento. You know, it might feel like most of the day to you because it is kind of an extended fog coverage this morning. Yeah, and considering daylight, we only have until about 4 o'clock, late 4 o'clock in this afternoon. So yes, there is going to be fog filling in for a good portion of your day. A live look outside, and we've got fog layer. In fact, we're up above that fog line for you this morning and showing you what the sun actually looks like. We need that sun to kind of peek through those low clouds to really burn it off at the surface this morning. It is going to be a dense, foggy commute for some of you, and heading out into the fog, it is going to be cool as you step outside. So we've got that fog layer extending across the Central Valley. Visibility, not all that bad around Oroville, but if you're commuting around Marysville and Yuba City, that visibility down to a quarter mile
or less in Lincoln and extending into Roseville, Rockland, that I-80 corridor, which is a typical spot for the fog. There it is. It's back in full focus. Quarter-mile visibility there in McClellan Park. Visibility not so bad in Rancho Cordova, but once you work your way into Sacramento, that visibility down to about a quarter of a mile. In through Stockton and Modesto, we have visibility that is also at about a quarter mile. So that's what you're going to find on those roadways this morning. Fog should clear around noon today, and then sunny skies will help to warm us into the upper 60s to low 70s. Coming up, we'll show you that Thanksgiving forecast. It is 6:32. Let's get a look at your roadways and see what we can see out there, Tish.
Exactly. Been keeping an eye on the fog for you as you get ready to head out the door. Maybe hop on the roadways, get a jump start on your holiday travel. Right now, we do have a dense fog advisory in effect for Sacramento County from Caltrans, and it is the thickest in the Natomas area along portions of I-5, like here at Norwood across the top of town, and even 9970 as you head out the door this morning. You'll notice that those signs have been activated. If you are getting ready to head out towards the airport, we also have some thick fog there. This is I-5 at airport, and you can see from that snapshot it is very foggy out there. So plan for that as you head out. Factor that into your morning commute heading out the door. Also, if you're getting ready to head over Interstate 80 into Davis, we have some fog over the causeway, and they have activated signs there as well as you travel into Yolo County and even in Solano County along 80. And then in San Joaquin County and even Stanislaus County, we have fog reported on portions of I-599 and the Crosstown Freeway. Teo?
All right, thank you. A death investigation and hazmat situation in downtown Davis may have been a suicide. Police say they found a body inside of a room at the University Lodge. It's on 2nd and B. Firefighters were responding at the time to a hazardous materials call. Somebody reported the smell of gas on the 2nd floor of the motel. People were evacuated as fire crews measured the air and found a toxic substance coming from one room. That made it too dangerous for them to go inside right away.
We just couldn't do it safely. We tried, but the environment was still too toxic.
Police are trying to determine if the man committed suicide. They are also still working to identify the source of that toxic smell.
It is 6:34. We're hearing more from a father and a son who survived last week's shooting in Tehama County. The son was shot in the face. He woke up on Monday. Tony Valliere is joining us now with his story.
Well, the rampage happened a week ago in Rancho Tehama, a small community near Corning. 17 people were shot, 5 were killed, including the gunman. 2 of the victims are a father and a son. 20-year-old James Woods Jr. was shot while driving his dad to the post office. The 2 were actually hit by the same bullet. James Jr. is recovering at Enloe Hospital in Chico this morning, where his father, James Woods Sr., hasn't left his side. A medical device on James Jr.'s throat is now helping him speak.
Until he got and when I looked over at him, and next thing you know, my mouth boom, and my ears were in war zone. He shattered my whole jaw.
Despite being in a lot of pain, James Jr. wanted the focus to be on the other victims and their families. His family has set up an online fundraiser to help pay for his expenses. James Jr. is expected to be at the hospital for at least another 2 weeks. He told us his family is angry with Tehama County Sheriff's deputies after learning authorities responded to the shooter's home nearly 24 times before last week's shooting spree. Teo, Deirdre.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Stockton police are searching for an inmate who escaped from Santa Clara County several weeks ago.
KCRA 3's Brian Hickey is joining us live in San Joaquin County, where the officers are now searching for a second inmate.
That's right. 2 inmates escaped on November 6th. One of them is now behind bars here at the San Joaquin County Jail. The other on the run after an officer-involved shooting here in Stockton yesterday. Here's a mugshot of the 2 men that escaped from the Santa Clara County Courthouse in Palo Alto on November 6th. Tremel McClough is now in custody here at the San Joaquin County Jail. The other is John Bivens. He's still on the run after he escaped when a CHP officer shot at him yesterday. You can see and hear there the officer-involved shooting that was captured by a man who was fishing nearby. It was the end of a short vehicle chase when a CHP officer spotted the duo on I-5 near 8 Mile Road and attempted to stop them around 5:15 last night. The driver led the officer down Trinity Parkway. They have identified the driver as Tremel McClough. He fled to a nearby Walmart where he was arrested and now booked here in the jail. Bivens slid into the driver's seat and was able to escape in that SUV as the CHP officer opened fire on him. He's still on the run this morning. Investigators say the 2 men escaped from the courthouse in Palo Alto as they were being escorted down a hallway. They got into a waiting car outside and eventually into a U-Haul. 2 people have been arrested for helping those 2 men escape. Bivens was last seen yesterday driving away in that green 1999 Ford Explorer with a license plate of 7TTY 505. And the investigators saying that if you happen to spot him or that vehicle, call 911 immediately. He is to be considered dangerous, and they would like to get him behind bars like the other inmate that escaped with him, Tremel McClough, who is now here at the San Joaquin County Jail in French Camp. I'm Brian Hickey, KCRA 3 News.
All right, thank you, Brian. New this morning, Elk Grove police will increase holiday patrols in an effort to curb a spike in holiday shopping crime.
So what was caught on camera in a Bay Area parking lot will really show you just how quickly someone can turn from just an ordinary shopper into a victim. KCRA 3's Mike DeSalle is live in Sacramento to explain.
And good morning, Deirdre. My longtime friend, she was at a Costco when she says she went from victim went from holiday shopper to victim, and what happened to her should serve as a warning to anyone else who will be out shopping this holiday season, especially since Elk Grove police say this is traditionally the time when crime spikes at shopping centers. Take a look. My friend was pushing a shopping cart out of the Costco, and you can see her purse was literally right in front of her in the top basket. As she was pushing that cart towards her car in the parking lot, this car was caught on surveillance video driving right up next to her. An arm popped out, grabbed her purse right out from in front of her in the basket, and drove away. In an instant, she went from routine shopper to crime victim, and police in this area not surprised.
Tis the season. This is the season that packages are being taken. Again, crimes of opportunity happen.
And so again, this happened at an East Bay Costco, but police in this area tell me they're not at all surprised by this, saying that they've heard of similar reports of that happening at shopping centers in this area. So Elk Grove police again are going to be increasing patrols from Thanksgiving Day through to Christmas in hopes of curbing the usual spike in holiday shopping crimes of opportunity. And again, they say what you just saw is a good reminder that you should be vigilant about your surroundings and especially your belongings this shopping season. Live in Sacramento this morning, Mike DeSalle, KCRA 3 News.
All right, thank you, Mike.
6:39, let's talk money. A short week for Wall Street, and I assume Kelly Brothers as well. Let's get a check on how things look on this Wednesday morning.
Thankfully, yes, indeed, and short but profitable for investors anyway. Yesterday was a good day, 28th day this year, where the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P all hit record closing highs. Let's check the real-time numbers, shall we? The Dow Jones Industrial Average this morning has been right about the flat line. NASDAQ and S&P slightly higher. Of course, the market will be closed tomorrow and open a half day on Friday. Former California gubernatorial candidate Meg Whitman stepping down as the CEO of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise after 6 years. Back in July, Whitman, who is also Sac Republic FC minority owner, said she had no plans to resign, but now she's going to give up her job as CEO in February. She says now's the right time. She plans to stay with the company and remain on the board of directors. Uber coming clean about its cover-up of a year-old hacking attack that compromised the personal information of more than 57 million customers and drivers. The CEO says he only recently became aware of the hack. The other employees who knew about it after it happened and took steps to secure the data but did not notify the right people. The CEO says there's no evidence the stolen information has been misused. Basically, the hacker asked for ransom, and Uber paid it a year ago. That's a look at your money. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Boy, it's foggy out there.
It is,
Looking
yeah.
behind him, you can barely see anything.
So people in Sacramento are getting ready for a Thanksgiving tradition, and that is the annual Run to Feed the Hungry through East Sacramento. That is coming up tomorrow.
We found these runners picking up their packets, very excited to get their numbers, at the Sacramento REI store on Exposition Boulevard yesterday. More than 28,000 people are expected to race in the 10K, 5K races. Annual event benefits the Sacramento Food Bank and Family Services, and they're having a staggered time this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works out.
Right.
I think it's going to work well. If you live in East Sacramento, be aware of rolling road closures starting early tomorrow morning. The 10K run will start at 8:15. The 5K run walk will start at 9. And to get more information and to register, you can head to runtofeedthehungry.com. If you can't make it out there in person, you can always watch us live from home. We will bring you complete coverage tomorrow morning from 7 to 10 a.m. on KQCA My 58. One of our favorite days of the year.
It is super fun. I'm going to be out there at 4:30 a.m. starting bright and early as they're setting up and stuff, and then you're going to join me at 7?
7-ish.
7?
Yes.
It's a little hard to get around.
It is a little challenging,
but
so
it's
I'm
a great
hoping
time.
so. It is now 6:41. How about this? A chance to win a baby.
What?
Yeah.
The unusual contest giving the ultimate gift of life to people who want to be parents.
And if you're up early with us, wanting to get a jump start on your holiday travel, don't have much traffic out there, but we do have fog. Where it's the thickest and where it's causing slowdowns just ahead.
And I'll show you when that fog is likely to clear out of here, what that means for your afternoon temperatures, and what's ahead for Thanksgiving. It's all coming up in your forecast next.
Sacramento International Airport is expecting a record number of passengers during the Thanksgiving week.
Now, with millions expected to travel this week, KCRA 3's Leticia Ordaz is live at the airport where officials have a plan to ease some of that holiday travel stress. Right, Leticia?
They sure do. They have therapy dogs that have been making the rounds here at Sac International Airport. Both terminals since 4:30 this morning. The lines have quieted down just a bit. The morning rush appears to be over at the moment, so things are looking good if you have a flight at 8 this morning. So a record number of travelers, as you mentioned, will be coming through here. We're told 1 million travelers just over the holiday. The airport hasn't seen this kind of foot traffic in 18 years. So the lines are going to be very long and flights could possibly be delayed through Sunday. Additional TSA screenings and the busy holiday easily is translating into more travel stress. Therapy dogs are fanning across both terminals to help people deal with all of the traffic here, something travelers sure appreciate as they are anxious to get to their Thanksgiving destination.
We expect to serve 1 million or just shy of 1 million passengers. It's likely we will break the November record that goes back to 1999. It's a very full week at the airport.
Yeah, I think everybody's in a great mood. Everybody wants to go home, eat their turkey. I'm one of those people, and we're going to see our family. We're looking forward to this trip.
And look at the lines from just about an hour ago. They were quite long here as people were waiting to be screened here in the TSA area. Arriving 2 hours prior to your flight will apply through Sunday. Right now, the board looks very good. All flights are on time. We also want to let you know that besides the therapy dogs, they're going to have live music throughout both terminals starting at 11 this morning. Reporting live here at Sac International Airport, I'm Leticia Ordaz, KCRA 3 News.
Thank you, Leticia. More reason to be patient. A report out this week shows Sacramento International Airport is 5th on the list of airports with the most delays over the past 5 years. Isn't that interesting? San Francisco International Airport tops the rewardexpert.com list, while the Oakland Airport is number 3. Sacramento has a 79.7 on-time percentage.
It's like 8 out of 10 flights are on time. Sounds pretty good
until
you're the 9th, I guess.
And you know what, Tamara, it's going to be interesting to see if this fog may cause some delays because that doesn't mix well with air travel.
Yeah, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised. Every time you look at SFO, it's always the arriving flights. They have to be deterred because of all the fog they get there in the city by the bay. Forecast here, yeah, the fog is thick as well around Sacramento. You will notice that first thing as you look out the window from your home or you get out into the driveway and into the car this morning. This is what you're commuting through. I don't even know where this is. This is actually Modesto. 49 degrees this morning, filled in with the fog, and wind is calm. The skies cleared out just in the nick of time to help produce some of this dense fog that we're seeing in Modesto, Stockton area, and into the capital city. You're also seeing some specks of fog around Lake Tahoe where the temperature is at 33 degrees. And look at that. That's a really cool picture there of the fog kind of rising up and over the lakeside. Beautiful view there as you come to the TV screen to check it out. Sunrise is taking place here within the next few minutes, and once the sun peeks out and gets through that fog layer, it will start to mix out or burn off, as a lot of folks like to call it. But right now, visibility anywhere from a quarter mile to a half mile in parts of the valley, and in some areas that are closer or low-lying spots or closer to a water resource, you're going to notice that that fog may be a little thicker. Dense fog advisory has been issued by the Weather Service. This will carry us through about 11 o'clock today, so be on the lookout for potentially slow speed on the roadways because of the fog, and also visibility at times that could get below a quarter of a mile. So when is the fog going to clear? Here's 9 o'clock this morning. You can see just how thick it still is spread across the Central Valley. And then that fog should clear out by noon, will be replaced by some high clouds, which will kind of filter out the sunshine. But the overall theme heading in through the next couple of days will be a dry forecast, fog each morning, and then sunny skies by the afternoon. Picking up things on Thanksgiving morning. If you're heading out to run to feed the hungry, you may see some patchy fog out there. I don't think it's going to be as thick or as dense as it is this morning. 4 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day, again, we're seeing a dry forecast. And then by Friday, if you're an early morning shopper, you can expect that those skies are going to be on the cloudy side with some patches of fog here and there. But we are going to stay dry for the Friday forecast and leading into the weekend. So fog, main concern for commuters out there this morning, maybe a concern by tomorrow morning as well. And then into Friday and into the weekend, temperatures will trend a little bit cooler. But overall, our theme is that we are staying dry on this Thanksgiving holiday, and it's going to stay dry for travelers even heading into the weekend. If you're traveling to the mountains, you're not going to have to worry with snow, but you may have to deal with some fog.
All right, good to know. Thank you, Jen.
6:50 now. It's been foggy out there on the roads this morning. Where are you seeing it the worst now?
Well, right now we do have a fog advisory in effect for Sacramento County. My camera just went out there. So do plan for that if you do have a trip to the airport, if you're getting a jump start on your holiday travel. It's expected to be a very busy day out there on the roadways, and if you're heading out this morning, the fog is really what you have to deal with. Pretty much every Caltrans camera I've looked at this morning has seen fog. This is a look at 65 up near the Rockland-Roseville area at Blue Oaks Boulevard there, and then also along I-5 heading out towards the airport. You can barely see right now. This is I-5 near airport. So just plan for that. Give yourself some extra time. Factor that into your travels this morning. Interstate 80 traveling between West Sacramento and Davis. This is over the causeway. You can see that there. Even fog report along portions of Interstate 80 in Solano County and in San Joaquin County along I-5, 99 and the Crosstown Freeway. Even as far south as Stanislaus County, where it's really socked in right now. This is in Modesto, and then a look at closer to the Turlock area. So heading out the door this morning, just plan for that fog. Give yourself some extra time. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Tish. An unusual radio contest out of Florida is getting national attention this morning.
A station is giving away a chance to have a baby. Tony's joining us now with more on this contest.
You don't hear things like this too often. So when you hear radio contest, you may automatically think of concert tickets, a vacation, or maybe even a car. But a Fort Myers radio station's latest giveaway is all about the gift of life. It's giving away an in vitro fertilization treatment. Those typically cost more than $10,000, which many couples just can't afford. Radio personality Big Mama came up with the idea after he and his wife struggled with infertility.
We have decided to give away an IVF cycle in hopes of making somebody a new mom and dad for the holiday season.
Contestants have to submit a video that tells their story. The radio station says the more touching, the better. Unfortunately, people in this region can't qualify for the contest. You have to be from the Fort Myers listening area, but this could be life-changing for many people.
It's really kind of cool.
It is. Yeah, because a lot of people, they save for years for this. So
yeah, definitely. All right, thank you.
6:52 now. Here's something to inspire you to burn off some of those calories you take in tomorrow. Watch this. Police in Alabama posted that video of officers and a canine officer named Nitro doing their push-ups. The department says they were warming up and that they are ready to apprehend bad guys who break the law. It takes too much turkey. That's awesome. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back. It is 6:55.
Here's a look what's coming up in our top stories.
2 escaped inmates from Santa Clara County were spotted here in San Joaquin County last night. And one of them, Tremel McClough, now behind bars here at the San Joaquin County Jail. The other, John Bivens, still on the run after an officer-involved shooting last night here in Stockton.
I'm Mike DeSell in Sacramento County, where Elk Grove police are increasing patrols at shopping centers from now until Christmas because they say this is the time when they traditionally see a spike in crimes against shoppers. Best advice from them to you: be very vigilant about your surroundings when shopping this holiday season.
And you see the fog there in Mike's live shot. It is foggy out there, and visibility in a couple of locations down to just a few hundred feet. Be aware the fog will be thick and dense in a couple of areas and probably last through about the 11 o'clock hour. And then we will see sunshine for the afternoon ahead with temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s.
Expected to be a busy commute day, and you do have that fog to deal with if you are heading out in the early morning hours. This is a look 99 at 47th, where you can see it really socked in there. We have a dense fog advisory in effect for all of Sacramento County, including I-5 heading up towards the airport this morning.
Meg Whitman is leaving as CEO of Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. She'll remain on the board of directors. And Uber was hacked. 57 million customers' personal data exposed. They'd paid ransom to the hackers, and the current CEO says he didn't even know about it. Taking a look at the real-time numbers this morning. After another record-breaking day yesterday, all the major averages very close to flat.
And a lot coming up 7 a.m. on my 58, Tony.
That's right, giving thieves a reason not to hit up their stores. What Walgreens is doing to help